Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Buckets and Banner. I'm your host, Teak. We got a lot on the plate today. Just looking at what we got in store for this episode, we got the draft lottery, talking NBA playoffs, and to wrap it all up, MJ is back. I'm repping the shirt, repping the hat. Let's get right into it, shall we? So, first off, we're talking about the draft lottery. Okay, this was a big topic a couple days. It was ramped up here. 1.8% chance, okay, that the Dallas Mavericks had to land this pick on top of having a coin flip with the Chicago Bulls. They landed it, okay? People on both sides, media and podcasters, whatnot, 50% saying it's rigged, 50% are standing up for the league as well. What you pick is your own opinion, but here's what we know about the lottery process. Supposedly, okay, the NBA goes to great lengths to make sure that this lottery is not tampered with whatsoever. Okay, there's a third party, a single person that knows the outcome apparently, and nobody else. So if you believe that, that's your opinion. Others, not so much. So we got to talk about that other side of the coin as well. Let me give you a little history, okay, of the big names getting traded to the Lakers. Okay, in 2011, Chris Paul was traded to the Lakers, which the league did veto the trade. Okay, but then Chris Paul was later sent to the LA Clippers instead. And that's next year, the New Orleans number 1 overall pick. They got the pick and they selected Anthony Davis in 2012. In 2019, Anthony Davis gets traded to the Lakers. New Orleans gets the number 1 pick again, who they select Zion Williamson. Now, in 2025, the Mavs trade Luka Doncic. Out of the blue, blockbuster trade. No one knows about this trade besides 2 GMs, apparently. Okay? They get the number 1 overall pick. Obviously, they're going to pick Cooper Flag here. Now, usually when there's smoke, there's fire. It seems the NBA wants to keep one of the most popular franchises relevant. And a lot of people are going to be like, well, why do you think it's rigged? Why do they care about keeping the Lakers relevant? I don't know. Money, ratings, a merchandise that franchise pulls with their fan base. The Knicks, the Celtics, and the Lakers are the 3 biggest markets in the NBA, and it's good for basketball. It really is when they're all good as well. Wish the Bulls were a part of that, but we're getting there. But it just makes sense that those big markets need to flourish in order for your league to be whole. But moving on to talking about one of those big time markets, New York versus Indiana. We just said the NBA wasn't in a great light with the whole lottery system. Kind of continues where the WWE put a big question mark on the NBA. WWE had guest appearances with New York Knicks guard Jalen Brunson and Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton, where they portrayed them both against each other before the playoffs ended, where they are now going up against each other, competing against each other in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Is it a coincidence? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say WWE is affecting the NBA. I'm not saying that whatsoever. Brunson is 5th in both points and assists in the playoffs, averaging 28.8 points and 7.7 assists per game in the playoffs. Tyrese Halliburton is 1st as well in that category, averaging 9.3 assists per game. So we get to see an old classic, old school matchup, Indiana versus New York. Once time where it was Reggie Miller versus Patrick Ewing. So we're getting the old school matchup. I love it. I'm all for it. But before that, let's talk about how the Knicks got here and the chaos that occurred with that round two win. I know it's a long time rivalry, the New York Knicks and the Celtics. I get that. The streets were flooded. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures, like they won the championship. Players being shot up in the city, people climbing on the billboards. Um, I don't want to be the guy to tell them, hey, calm it down, slow it down. I'm not going to be that guy because this is what we love about sports. Okay. Right now, you got to think New York really doesn't have a team besides their diehard Yankees out there that is very successful consistently. The Knicks haven't been good for a decent amount of time. So they're really backing this Knicks teams up. And so I love the passion. I really do. I love rivalries. That's what makes sports special. Okay. The whole teaming up in the NBA thing needs to stop immediately. We need to go back to the rivalries. That's what made basketball what it is, how it grew so big, I believe, with the whole Jordan versus the Pistons. Then you had the Showtime Lakers, you had Magic versus Bird. It it just way better in my opinion. But keeping on with the playoffs here, Minnesota moves on. Anthony Edwards, man, he's getting a lot of great comparisons. He's currently on a tear right now, being called the King Slayer, the next face of the league. Even though he doesn't want to be the face of the league, he probably has no choice if he keeps this pace up. Round one, he goes through Luca and LeBron. He then finishes off him and the Wolves just finish off the Warriors 4-1. Now his next test is playing game 7 Sunday. It's either going to be the Red Hot Thunder or the former champs with Joker and the Nuggets. Now, if he continues on this path and wins the ship, wow. Very impressive for him and this team, especially with this subpar roster as well. I'm excited to keep watching this guy's career. I'm a fan of how he plays the game, and he gives that killer instinct that I believe Jordan, Kobe had. I think Anthony Edwards has that. When to shoot the ball, when to take the last shot, when to pass the ball. I think he has that mentality, which I love and what brought me to the game personally. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys are a fan of um, a lot of people I know. My one good friend loves Spurs basketball. Okay. That's also what brought him to the game, moving the rock. It's fun to watch as well. Um, we got glimpses of that in Golden State as well when Golden State was in their prime, their dynasty, moving the ball well. But rolling into that game 7, because we just got done talking about Anthony Edwards' next opponent is Nuggets versus Thunder. I said it was Sunday. It's going to be at 3:30 p.m. ABC. Jokic averaging 29.6 points per game, 12.7 rebounds per game, and 10.2 assists per game. Then on the other side of the court, you got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 32.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6.4 assists per game. This is tough. Who do you have winning this game 7? Let me know in the comment section. I strongly believe whoever wins this matchup is going to win the NBA Finals. That's just my personal opinion. I think OKC and the Nuggets both match up very well with Minnesota, and I think they're going to give Minnesota fits. If Minnesota does pull it out, hey, I'm fine with that as well. I just don't think there's an Eastern Conference team, even though I'm pulling for the Knicks because the rivalry, the loyalty. I would love to see the Knicks get there to see what that city does and how they back them up. But this Western Conference is just stacked. So that's just my opinion about Game 7. I don't have my hat on one side or the other. I would like to see the Thunder get there. I think that'd be cool for that young team, but I'm happy with whoever comes out of the West. But moving on to the final portion here I like to keep my episodes short and sweet. Your little daily driver going to work or going back home from work, or maybe on your lunch break, you have a couple minutes just to listen. MJ is back, but he's not back the way we all hope. MJ has joined NBC Sports as a special contributor to the NBA coverage beginning next year. What does that mean? We don't know yet. MJ hasn't been in the media at all for a very long time. Besides The Last Dance, obviously, where everyone loved it, besides Scottie Pippen, who is very back and forth on MJ, it seems. I think MJ on the mic is more of a salute to NBC than anything, and what NBC did for him in his career. It's kind of what helped him make himself a household name across the world, because he blew up and he was like the Beatles when he would go to different cities and everything. So I don't know what his part's going to be around these coverages, but I would just love to hear what he sees on the court, his thought process on today's NBA game. I'm all for it. I'm all excited for next season just to witness that alone. So I'm all about that. As you can see, big MJ guy, big Bulls fan. But hey, I'm all for seeing MJ back. I think that's a tremendous thing. Fun fact: I actually just met Dennis Rodman. He was on my one flight, um, and that was interesting. I couldn't believe my eyes at first because I was just like, "There's no way this dude's on my plane," and I was kind of fanboying a little bit. But I thought that was pretty cool. Get to meet him. Um, but thank you guys for tuning in and sticking with ball. Ball's almost over, so obviously we're gonna get into the offseason stuff, but we got some ball left here for the playoffs. Let me know in the comment section who do you think is going to win the NBA playoffs. Hey, if you're a Knicks fan, show your support out there. I don't know too many. I don't think I know any Pacers fans out there. I do know some Thunder fans, but let me know in the comments who you think is going to take this, and we'll see you on the next one.